Hello everybody, this is Jonathan. Today I'll be showing you guys 5 alternatives to neofetch. I do know that neofetch still works, but once there's new hardware or new operating systems, then it might not be able to detect it, especially for hardware. If there's like a new CPU, then the software may not be able to tell what the CPU is. Whereas with these other alternatives may still work, and they may detect the new hardware and the new operating systems that is available. So there are many more which I will not cover in this video. I'm only going to cover 5 of them, but there's many more that you guys can go and install. But yeah, let's get started right now. So 5 I'm going to be trying out today is going to be called screenfetch, cpufetch, which only shows up for CPU information. We also got Fastfetch, we also got pfetch, we got for ramfetch, which shows up information about the RAM only. Then we got uwufetch as well, which is more like animation of style. So let's try out screenfetch, shall we? So over here is my neofetch, and over there will be my screenfetch. So if I put down screenfetch, as you guys can see, it should show up very quickly. It has kind of a different style to the logo, to be honest. But over here it shows up the operating system, then it shows up the kernel, it shows up the uptime, how long it was running the system for, it shows up for shell as well as the resolution and the desktop environment, it shows up for Windows Manager, it shows up a theme, a GDK theme, it shows up what the font is, the disk as well, how much of it is being used up, 95%, which I'm a bit worried now because I'm quite low on space. We also got the CPU as well, and we got the GPU, and we also got RAM. Which this one kind of does show up the same sort of information as well, but it shows up the host. Yeah, it's basically the same thing really. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys for cpufetch, and this one only gives information about the CPU. So if I put down cpufetch, as you guys can see, it will only show up information about the CPU. So I got the AMD Ryzen 5 5600G with Radeon. Yes, that is correct. Has the built-in graphics as well. It's Gen 3. It has 6 cores, max frequency. It can be overclocked, but I haven't overclocked it. But this is the CPU information that you guys can get from the cpufetch. Now I'll show you guys Fastfetch, which is basically a recreation of neofetch, but it's actually a lot faster as it's written with C, and it shows up more information. So now if I put down Fastfetch, if I press on the enter key, as you guys can see, it shows up a lot more information. It shows up the OS, the host, the kernel, uptime packages, shell, display, desktop environment, themes, icons, fonts, cursor, what cursor I am using. It shows up what terminal I'm using right now, and it shows up the terminal font. Is also showing up the CPU for GPU1, which is my I think this is my inbuilt-in graphics of my CPU, and this is my my graphics card that I'm currently using is a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti because I'm so poor I can't afford to get a RTX just yet. There's also memory, how much of my memory is used up as well. Swap, which is how much swap is being used up. And I also have this one, my disk, and this is my local IP, which I should be hidden. And over here is my local, which is the language, I do believe. So that one shows up a lot more information, and it's a lot faster for neofetch because it's written with C, whereas this one is written with bash script instead. So that one is a lot faster. What I can now do now is show you guys how to run the pfetch, which is a very small neofetch style. So over there it just shows up the OS, the host, as well as the kernel, uptime, and how much PKGs I got in for memory. So if you guys only want to show up the operating system I'm currently running, just to show to people that, hey, I was able to get Gin to install, or we can just say, by use Arch, like my video I have done, which has gone really popular for some random reason, but we can just use pfetch, and it just shows up the OS as well as the host, which is, the host is really my motherboard, to be honest. So you guys can just search up what type of motherboard I got if you really wanted to. But yeah, this shows up a very small information about the system. It's not as advanced as neofetch, but if you just want to show people the operating system, then it's great for that. Now I can show you guys through ramfetch, which shows up information about the RAM. So now if I run the ramfetch, As you guys can see, it shows up how much RAM I got, how much RAM is free, RAM available, buffers, cache, swap total, swap free, C swap, C swapped, swapped, cache, dirty, kernel, stack, per CPU, huge page free, huge pages total. So this basically, I don't know where there's a Christmas tree actually, that's a bit odd. But yeah, this is the ramfetch, which is pretty nice. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys uwufetch. If I now run that, then as you guys can see, it should have been like a weird anime style, as you guys can see from this very nice logo. Over there shows up the operating system, which is Fedora. Over there shows up the model, the hardware model and stuff. Over there shows up the kernel, the CPU, the GPU, the memory. For shell I'm running, as well as PKGs, as well as the uptime. But for somebody that's non-tech savvy, may get confused with the actual spelling. But these are just some examples of some ways to be able to replace neofetch, and there's many more that you guys can use, so you guys can look at the theming and see which one I like. For example, if you like anime, then this one might be the best one for you. But if you only want to show up information about the CPU, then you might as well run at the cpufetch. And there are many more you guys can go and try out. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please put a like and please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.